If weather was like this every day in California, this skateboard museum would thrive. Obviously, indoor skate parks in California don't do as well as they would in other states. Now, unfortunately, the skate park doesn't open up for another 5 hours or so, and I could do the mature thing and go to the gym, or I could go to the trampoline park and jump around with a bunch of 4-year-olds.
It's a beautiful day at the beach. I was losing my mind for about a week until I could call you up. I'll meet you at the waterline. Birds are flying up above. We both need a little love.
As much fun as I was having at the trampoline park, it was time for me to actually go to the skate park. Unfortunately, I arrived a little early, but I did get some context as to maybe why there's not a lot of people going to this skate park, or at least as much as I believe should be going. The mall, first of all, is one of the only malls where an Apple store actually pulled out their store because of how little traffic the actual mall got. And when I got there, nobody was really in there at all except for these 2 security guards that stopped me. And something that's really cool is they both recognized me and allowed me to keep filming.
Logan, look who it is, bro.
What's up?
Oh my God, I've been watching you since I was a kid.
Oh, no way. How you doing? So, thank you for that. But eventually I met up with my teammate and good friend, Doug Desatels, AKA Amskater from YouTube, and he took me inside. And let me give you a little rundown on this park. One of the co-founders of the skate park is Todd Huber, who actually was one of the founders for Skate Lab, which is a massively popular skate park in Simi Valley that had to close down not too long ago. And they had a skateboard hall of fame in that skate park, and they just switched locations to this mall. Interestingly enough, Todd Huber is actually the son of a former mayor of Simi Valley, so he's got a lot of love for the city. It's a 10,000 square foot space, opened up in December 15th of 2018, so still pretty new. I've actually filmed a video here before, but it was a quick put together video, and I didn't really give this rundown that I'm giving now. It's a skateboarding museum, a skate park, a skate shop, a skateboarding library, and a media room. It doesn't cost anything to actually check out the museum, but they do receive donations. He originally signed a 2-year lease for the space, which is a bit scary, and you would think relatively expensive, but maybe the rent isn't too bad because, you know, the mall is... I think it's cheaper to rent a space than you might think. I think this park is a banger. I would be so excited to skate here consistently. If I lived nearby, I would actually come here all the time. What's interesting though is apparently they are supposed to redo the entire mall, and Todd Huber, the guy I talked to, the co-founder, etc., said if they do that, there's no way they're actually going to keep him, but he's still stoked for the foot traffic, so he's actually rooting for the mall to do that. But then the rent would probably be too high for the skate park, and he might actually inevitably have to move out. But unfortunately, I don't think the city is really rooting for the mall because the application for the redo wasn't approved. Todd says that skaters think of Simi Valley as a sleepy suburb with nothing to do, which is ironic because I grew up watching Skate Lab content and a bunch of skate videos, skate spots from Simi Valley, and I just thought it was a skate mecca, a skate heaven. If you look up any reviews, the Skateboarding Hall of Fame on Yelp, which is actually very rare, has 5 stars. Like, that's very rare for any entertainment location. It has 30 reviews, all 5 stars. Too long for me to read, of course, but the consensus is that this place is cool. It's good. It's great. It's fun.
Side by side, sway there in all the colors. Sunlight, ghosts and love, coffee on a Wednesday in all the colors. Sunlight.
And that, my friends, is why I do not skate mini ramps. I'm in so much pain. And that's the end of the California videos. I only made 2 in the week that we were out there. Obviously, if you're just here for the skate park, that section is going to be done. I wanted to talk a bit about the California trip in general and kind of the wild adventure that it was. While we were there, we got an Airbnb up in the hills. It was very exciting and very pretty. And then for the first time I've ever seen in my life, California had a storm that actually shut down power from pretty much all of the houses in the Hollywood Hills. So we ended up having to migrate down. The roads got blocked off. It was kind of a hectic adventure. It was storming. We got a hotel. So we ended up spending so much money on this trip just for accommodation. But California, man, lots of rain. But even amongst the rain, obviously we're not going to be able to make a lot of skateboarding YouTube videos because you have to kind of do that outside for the most part, even though we did make this video. But it was still such a productive trip. I've never really done California with Sarah Adichie, who is my wife, and man, she's just such a go-getter and she's such a collaborator. She's basically like the opposite of me in a lot of ways in terms of she loves doing meetings and meeting up with people and I guess networking, if that's what you want to call it. And I'm more of someone who just wants to kind of be insulated in my own little world. But it was really fun just kind of tagging along with Sarah and being like, yeah, let's hang out with whoever and do whatever. We did New York for 4 or 5 years and there's a lot of really cool serendipitous moments that happen in New York. In Texas, it really doesn't happen that much because there's not that many creators here. So it was really nice being in California where so many random things happened. There was one lunch in particular where we were meeting with someone who helps produce Netflix shows, and they were talking to Sarah, and now they're producing for a YouTuber. They went from Netflix to producing for a YouTuber because that's where they see the future of content, essentially. And as I'm sitting in there, I forgot that I reminded my friend Jacob Romero to meet me in this area. So Jacob just shows up and I'm like, oh my God, like I haven't seen Jacob in years and years and years. So like I'm having a meeting with this producer and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm seeing a friend that I haven't seen in a long time, this amazing skateboarder photographer guy. And I'm so happy. We walk outside and then there's Eric. I don't know if you watch YouTubers, but he's just this massive YouTuber who's like this second Mr. Beast. And he's like, yo, John Hill, what's up? And I like just kind of thought it was someone who maybe recognized you from my videos. And I'm like, Eric? And he's like, yeah, man, Eric, what's up, dude? And then we ended up talking and he was giving me so many compliments on like the longevity of my YouTube career. And I'm like, oh my God, am I like the old YouTuber? It was so funny. And then, you know, so we talked with Eric, had the cool meeting, and then Sarah met back up with us. And then we went up to Beverly Hills to go help with the tour with Ennis. We didn't help with the tour. We were just able to kind of look at this insane mansion that Ennis, another big YouTuber who does these crazy, ridiculous home tours. And while we were sitting in that home, I look outside and the neighbor is that meme like $500 million house that was going super viral. That house was their neighbor. Like I was like, this is wild. And it was actually incredibly beautiful, obviously. I have no real desire to have a $100 million home or whatever that place was, but it was still a really cool experience. And then we wrapped up the trip by hanging out with Michelle Khari, who's another really big YouTuber and very inspiring in a lot of ways. And for me, my Progress Daily channel is more about learning things, just period, kind of going the out of the skate route a bit. So having someone like that who's just like, yeah, this is how I kind of run my program. We went to her house and we like saw the way that she kind of makes videos, the way it was directed and produced, etc. And you're like, I'm so inspired. And this was 1 week in California, just all this inspiration is slapping us across the face. And it really just made me feel enthusiastic about creating in a way that I find inspiring. So look forward to that. Sarah and I are gonna go on a lot of trips coming up in the next couple of months. So you'll see a lot of California, you'll see a lot of other places. So if you did enjoy this video, expect a lot more, at least like this. And I say a lot better. We do have a lot of downtime in Texas for now, so you might see random skate sessions and stuff obviously throughout, but the idea is always to expand and grow in a direction that I think people will genuinely find entertaining. Trust me, I'm not just doing the whole thing where I'm like, screw this, I'm just gonna upload to YouTube, I don't care. Like I genuinely want to make the kind of content that makes people who watch it really inspired and excited and motivated to create content yourself or just create in general. So look forward to that. I'm still this motivated after all these years. Kind of wild. Thanks a lot. Take care. Progress daily and keep killing it.